What's going on? What's going on, everybody? It is the Only Sports Podcast. That's right, the Only Sports Podcast. I'm Will. That was Casino over there. New
How's it going?
year, new him.
Oh yeah,
More confidence.
definitely.
But we are here today, Casino, on a Friday, which is crazy. We're here to do our power rankings, and it'll be the last power rankings of the regular season. With I just did yours, Casino, because
Nice.
ours were very similar, and I figured you're never on the Friday show. My power rankings really didn't change, except for, Rams moved down.
Oh, definitely.
Rams moved down, and Falcons moved up. That's pretty much the only difference. But yeah, how are we doing today, Casino? How's this is the first time I've seen you since the new year.
Much better. I'm feeling much better. It was a rough go for 5 days there. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. You? How are you? Happy New Year. How was your New Year's? What'd you do?
I worked New Year's Eve, New Year's Day.
Oh no,
Both were busy. I worked till what? You don't do
couldn't
it?
do it. I couldn't do it. No. Luckily, my work they close early for that. Yeah, just definitely not going to happen.
Oh yeah, my place was a shit show. It rained. We were in Vegas. It rained. Literally, I got into work at 5. I left at 1 a.m. 1:30. It rained from the second I walked into work till I was leaving. It was still raining. Like, it poured the entire time. It was rough.
Yeah, no, the whole valley was just drenched, 100% drenched. I was surprised they were able to do a lot of fireworks with how wet it was. I know the rain itself doesn't mess with, the actual fireworks going off and all this stuff, but it was just damp. It was like flooding almost in a lot of places. I was kind of surprised that they were still able to get as much fireworks off as they did.
I've honestly never seen it be as foggy. Like, up by my house, it was just so foggy you couldn't see like this house across the street. It was crazy.
This year we've had a couple really crazy foggy days, right? I had like that one that we took the pictures of, or we had the pictures of, where it was like the aerial view of the strip. I thought that was really neat. Yeah, a lot more fog. A lot more fog than usual. So yeah, pretty cool.
And with how the strip looks or whatever, the fog downtown especially looks insane. It looks insane.
And it looks like the Infinity Stones, which is dope. It's just different colors.
Well, also, it looks like the best marketing for Stranger Things ever. But
oh yeah,
we have our first comment. Nelly Belly 818 says, "Hi, what's going on? What's going on, everybody?" I'll say it again. We are here today. Let's reset. We are here today to do our power rankings, Casino, and more. It'll actually be Casino's power rankings with my commentary. So let's dive into it, and let's get into the Week 18 NFL Power Rankings. We also do all the visuals for the week, Casino, I use on this episode. So I put your list into a video montage right here. So let's first start.
I do miss all the visuals.
Yeah, and the visuals I did put to creative names and videos. So here we go. First up, we have When It Rains, It Pours. This is the bottom 6 teams on your list. We will go in order for the bottom 6. It is 32 Raiders, 31 Jets, 30 Giants, 29 Cardinals, 28 Titans, and 27 Browns. So talk about why. We also had, I did my list separate to yours just so we could cross-reference it. I had the exact same bottom 6, except
in the same order.
In the same order, did I just switched Giants and Cardinals. Or no, I did not have Giants in the bottom 6. I had Giants in the next tier. So I had Raiders, Jets, Cardinals, Titans. Oh no, I had Giants 27th. So yeah, you had Browns. So you had Giants 30th. I had Giants 27th, Browns 28th, Titans 29th, Cardinals 30th, Jets 31, Raiders 32. So similar. But why do you have these as your bottom six teams?
Garbage. First off, most of them are garbage franchises, right? Just garbage franchises, most of them. And then outside of Cam Ward, who you and I like, I don't. I mean, and Jacoby Brissett, I guess, but he's just, he's that best backup quarterback that you can have in the league. He's the new Kirk Cousins, right? Um,
Mhm.
all those quarterbacks outside of him, they blow. Like, they can't stay healthy. They're going to get hurt. Jackson Dart's out there just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Like, hey, I'm just going to get hurt next. Shador, he's so raw. He needs a lot more to develop. The Jets, I don't even know who their quarterbacks are right now. Like, I just don't. And then the Raiders, Geno is just awful. That organization is just run to the ground. I mean, they're going to get the first overall pick, and who do they pick? They got a couple quarterbacks to choose from, and it doesn't matter. They're still not going to get it right, even if they get the right quarterback. These organizations got a long, long, long way to go.
Yeah, I agree. I think Raiders are clearly the worst team in the league right now, hence why they have the number one pick. And again, they were supposed to be a team that, when we were talking about it in the preseason, at least was a contender. Like, at least, kind of being in this last couple 3-week mix where it's like, oh, well, they could potentially get the last playoff spot. And instead, they're getting the number one overall pick. Jets, we thought, would at least have a good defense. Same with Cardinals, Giants, and Browns. And then again, people forget Titans had the one of the best, I think, if not the best defense at the end of last season. So all these teams are supposed to be much better than they were. And then due to injuries, if like you're talking about a team like the Giants, due to having no playmakers like the Titans, that's kind of why they're all the bottom six. But I think this would be, you could rearrange them in a different way, but I think this is the consensus bottom six. Like,
I totally agree. Yeah, totally agree. Obviously, it's mine, so I agree.
Now after the bottom six, we go to the next one that is called How the Mighty Have Fallen, Casino. And
I know who's in here. Ooh,
yeah.
I love it.
So for this one, we have Commanders at 26, Chiefs at 25, Saints at 24, Dolphins at 23, Bengals at 22, and Falcons at 21. So talk about, let's go Commanders up. And if you see it, it goes command, and then it kind of goes back and forth. So start with the Commanders and work your way up, Casino.
Commanders, yeah, I mean, you said the mighty have fallen. Jaden Daniels, he's still good. He's got to stay healthy. He's going to get banged up. I'm worried he's the new RG3 out there. Plus, this team is just one of the older teams. It is the oldest team in the league, and you see it. You see it. They can't stay healthy. They're always hurt. They had some fight, early on in the season, but injuries just kept compounding, and they just couldn't get over it. Chiefs, I told you so. Told you so. Travis Kelce, he's done playing. He was checked out last year. You saw it how he played last year towards the end of the season. He was just done. He was done. He wants to go live his life with Taylor. Great job. Go have fun. You're going to get paid more money via her and her allowance for you than you ever would playing football. So just keep doing what you're doing. Andy Reid is probably going to be leaving here soon, which, this team, I don't know, right? Because Brady Belichick, they did have their lull for, that decade, but they were still really good. They didn't miss the playoffs, right? However, they stuck together. I don't think that with Reid gone, Mahomes is going to be good, but I don't think he's going to be as elusive without Andy Reid. Just throwing that out there. Saints, I thought they were going to be a bad team, but I thought they had a fighting chance if they still had oh my gosh, was eyeliner quarterback. Why am I blanking?
Derek Carr.
Thank you, Derek Carr.
Dude, but I don't know. Shuck looks pretty good.
No, Shuck
in
looks
the limited time he's been in there.
I like Shuck, and I think they lucked out with him, honestly, because they were pretty much hitting the reset button, but they would have had a better year if they had a veteran quarterback in there. So with Carr leaving, that did hurt them, but if they still showed fight, I'm not too worried about the Saints moving forward. They're going to figure it out. I think Shuck played well this season. And, you and I both didn't hate Rattler, so you got a decent backup. It's not great, but he's decent. Dolphins, their organization, nobody was on the same page. You talked about it. We've talked about it plenty early on in the season, the preseason, when teams were playing each other and they're like, oh, or, in practices, and like their practice is way different than ours. They are very unstructured. I think Mike McDaniels will keep his job, but I don't think Tua will be there. I think they're going to get somebody else in there. Just kind of moving some players around. So I think Miami will be all right, but they're going to still be Miami. They're not going to be great. People will have a hard time playing them because they're playing in Miami with that humidity. And they've got that wonderful thing that they have for their stadium where you're always going to be sitting in the sun. So I'm not too worried about Miami moving forward. I think they'll figure it out. They are going to implode. More players will leave, but they'll always be decent. Bengals, they're there just because that organization sucks outside of their wonderful draft pick, Joe Burrow. Once he's gone, and he will leave, and he's probably going to Miami. There's a lot of talks about that.
See, I think, again, the more I talk to people about this, the more I think it's a genius idea. I really think he should go to Atlanta. I really think that's the best.
And that's going to be my next. I'm glad
you
brought that up, because Atlanta, what are they missing? A quarterback. I like Penix. I like how he played in college, but you have too many weapons on this team not to be successful.
Yeah.
You have way too many weapons on this team not to be successful. He goes to Miami, or he goes to Atlanta, and if somehow they can get both him and Chase, hey, package deal. I know that it's not going to happen, but I would love for these two just to stay together, just because they won the Natty together. They've played together for so long. Their chemistry is great. If just imagine that Chase, London, Bijan, Burrow, insane, on fire.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great.
So, mighty have fallen, but they'll figure it out. Most of these teams will figure it out.
Yeah. Well, especially but again, I think when you look at these teams with the Commanders, again, they were already they were in the NFC Championship last game. They were already the oldest team in the league that year. This year, they got older. Their quarterback's tiny. We knew he would be injury prone in the NFL, and he has been, because he barely has played any games. I don't even think he played half the season. No, didn't he play like 7 games this entire year?
He would come in for like a game, and then he would be out. Then come in for a game, be out. Yeah. So,
and then I think
banged up.
I think the Saints, are the one I would be most optimistic on this. Probably them and the Dolphins, because again, the Dolphins, you get 2 out of there, you get they're going to have a kind of medium round draft pick, like medium first round. I don't know why I'm saying medium, middle of the first round draft pick. So I don't think they'll get a quarterback, but Ewers has looked okay. What if Tua was the scapegoat that ends up being the reason?
I think he's going to be. I think he was going to be, and just the disconnect that he had with his coach, with McDaniel, like, they needed to get him out of there. Tua needs to go. He should have retired 2 years ago, honestly, and it sucks that it'll be so early on in his career. But dude, you're banged up like crazy, kid.
Yeah,
like come on, man.
And we have Gerard 1871 says, I love this subject more so because I'm a Niners fan and Brock Purdy is outplaying these quarterbacks.
100%.
Yeah,
we've always been Purdy fans. So like, he's gotten so much hate for having as good of stats as he has. I just don't get it.
Especially being a 7th round draft pick, like, that's, again, there was 0 expectations. There was actually negative expectations. And then he is just, I would say probably the only guy on this list he's not outplaying is Burrow, who just, since he's came back, has just lit the world on fire.
Yeah. Purdy's moved up, or the Niners themselves, and a lot due to Purdy. They've moved up on my power rankings. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Obviously we're moving.
Next up, let's go to the number 20 to number 16, and this is fine. This is fine level, which is
that's delightful, because they're
let's see. This is number 20 to 16. So at 20 we have the Cowboys, 19 we have the Colts, 18 we have the Lions, 17 we have the Vikings, and 16 we have the Bucks. So
Cowboys,
this is fine level. Go ahead, Casino, take it away.
All right, so they're here because they got a lot going for them, but they just can't figure it out, right? So with the Cowboys, Dak, he had his best season so far. Pickens came out. He looks good. He just needed to be on the Cowboys for some reason. That's the team he needed to be on. Jerry Jones apparently is smart. I don't know if he just lucked out with doing that Parsons trade, and he's got multiple first round picks coming into this year. I think it's going to be beneficial for him, honestly.
Well,
What's
also
up?
before we move off the Cowboys, first Gerard 1871's back. He says, "I can agree with that, guys." LOL to the I'm assuming to the this is fine level. But with the Cowboys, the recent news of it is they just randomly decided to cut Trayvon Diggs after didn't he
Mhm.
just sign $100 million contract like
I don't
a
know
season
the
ago?
exact deal it was, but yeah, and it's crazy.
So thoughts on there's rumors swirling out that apparently he wanted to stay he wanted to stay for their last game they played away because his family lived out there. The team said no, so he had to fly back with the team and
Right.
then just skipped a practice or something to go be back with family. Again, this is all rumors, nothing's been confirmed, but just seems like a weird move at the end of the season to cut a guy you just paid $100 million to. And as of 2 days ago,
maybe he what are you gonna say?
apparently there's rumors that he's going to be joining the Packers. Oh, he did join the Packers. So he was picked up by the Packers. So reuniting with
Yeah,
Micah Parsons over there.
that's what I
So
was gonna say is he did go to the Packers. And yeah, the Packers, they're just taking everybody from the Cowboys. Like, okay, sure, let's have them. I don't like
man,
the Diggs brothers, they got a lot going on for them right now. They
I
got a
think
lot
your
going
mic
on
might
for
have
'em.
disconnected, Casito.
Oh
I think
no.
it's coming through the headset right there. But what is it? It's going to be I mean, how much can you hurt Cowboys fans where now two of their all-pro players on defense go to the Packers and then the Packers are still going to lose in the first round of the playoffs because they're so banged up. So, if you're a Cowboys fan, you lose two of your best defensive players to the Packers, and then you have to watch them do another wild card first round exit because I have no faith whatsoever in the Packers
Yeah. Check
in this
1 2.
upcoming playoffs.
Check 1 2. Better?
Yeah, you're back.
Sweet.
All right. And then Gerard says, I think the Cowboys will be fine because Jerry always drafts well. He does draft very
He
well.
does, and that's what I was saying is he does draft well, and with getting rid of that Parsons trade, and he's got all those picks now. Everybody was making fun of him. Like everybody was like, "Oh, this is that Luca deal. Like this is crazy. This is crazy." It actually seems like it's going to work out for him. You just got to
well,
get it right. You just got to get it right and hope Dak can play and have his best year again because this was clearly, I think, Dak's just breakout year. He looked great, great, great. But yeah, he does draft well.
yeah, nothing like having a breakout year 10 years into your career with the same team where you've had multiple top 5 defense and
Yeah,
offenses.
fine.
But
They're going to be the Cowboys. They do what they do.
and he says, Gerard also says, yes, it's very weird. I think there's more to that story. There has to be, and I'm actually kind of shocked it hasn't already been released because this happened, I believe, 2-3 days ago where he was released, and it's been kind of just radio silence from both sides. It feels like more will come out of this story. And I also feels like more will come out of the story on his side because if my former team was trying to throw me under the bus, I feel
Mhm.
like I would just go scorched earth because why wouldn't you? So for him to remain quiet kind of makes it seem like there's something.
Kind of like what Parsons did. Like when
Yeah.
Parsons came out, he just put out that big letter and he was just like, "Yeah, fuck this organization. I didn't want to be here."
Yeah. So for him to just go radio silent, I don't know. That doesn't bode well for
No,
when the
but
story
again,
eventually comes out.
his brother's not doing so hot right now, so who's to assume that he doesn't run in the family? Jeez,
But next up,
sorry,
Casino,
I'm a little
after
frustrated.
20, we have 19. We'll talk about that story.
Yeah,
We're at number 19, which is the Indianapolis Colts.
they had
Uh,
it all. They had it all.
this is why they're
Like,
on the this is fine level because again, they started 6-1, I believe, and it was Colts are going to the Super Bowl. They're going to have the best offense since the undefeated Patriots. And then That's not the way the cookie crumbled. They
Well,
went
yeah.
0-7, I believe.
What was crazy for me was Jones playing with that or that fibula fracture. Like how are you playing through that? He was going to have his friends or people that he knew at a university 3D print a like basically a shin guard, a shield around his leg so he could go out and play, and then yet he just goes and gets his Achilles taken care of. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I know 2 Colts fans, and I have not talked to them about this. They have kinda gone radio silent, and I would too. Like, dude, you're 6-1. You were on fire. I did say Jones before the season started that Jones was gonna have come in at some point and have a good season. He did have a good season. It just sucks that he got hurt because if he didn't get hurt, I think this team still would have been good. We know Jonathan Taylor fell off. I think a lot had to do with the fact that I think Jones was setting and creating enough offense with his arm that
Mhm.
Taylor was able to find pockets a little bit easier. But as soon as you get in Rivers there, uh, you knew they were going to run the ball more, right? You just knew they were going to run the ball, and he kind of got stuffed. I know he wasn't getting his best production before Rivers came in as well, but yeah, this offense is kind of sputtered.
Well, it's also crazy that going into the last week of the season, it is also like, okay, we asked Philip Rivers to come in for 4 games. He went 0-3. Now we're not having him finish the season, and it's going to be Riley Leonard because we're scared he's going to get hurt or whatever the excuse is. And it's just like, so you only cared about putting the guy who hasn't played football in 5 years when you were a contender, and now that you're not a contender, you're not even going to let the guy finish out the season. I don't know if that was his call or a team call, but that just seems like a weird, like, let's see if we have anything in this guy we thought we had nothing in. So that's why we called a 45-year-old quarterback.
It was very weird. The whole experiment with Rivers was weird. I liked it, but because it's just I liked Rivers, right? He is that no cursing trash talker, that sidearm throwing son of a gun that everybody likes, but
Yeah.
does not like. And that's
Yeah.
that's my favorite. You don't like him, but you like him because you don't like him.
Yeah.
He's
I think he's very lovable, but he's like a hateable, lovable guy.
yeah.
Like he's a trash talking guy where again, yeah, you
You want
don't
to be
like his
mad at
throwing
you
style.
want to be mad at him when he's trash talking, but you're like, you sound
It's
you sound kind of adorable right now.
This is the casino playbook. This is you're the Philip Rivers of that category.
Oh, yeah,
But
sure.
next up, casino, you had the Lions right there, and again, very similar to kind of the Vikings, both those NFC North teams, where it was just based on what they did last year going into this season. Everybody just had those two basically fighting
Well,
for a top seed in the NFC.
the Vikings, their issue was they just got a different quarterback. Like their quarterback issue, like that's their main thing.
Yeah.
Um, for the Lions, man, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of that team is just given up. Goff isn't playing to what Goff should. I know he's got some decent numbers in certain categories, but the guy can't stop turning over the football. Like I don't know what's going on with the Lions and Dan Campbell. I don't think he's the guy anymore, man.
Well, it also just becomes one of those things where we undervalue as football fans how important coordinators are, and
Yeah, definitely.
them losing both their offensive and defensive coordinator. Everybody was like, "Oh, they're just going to be fine. They're just going to be fine." And as an Eagles fan, I knew
Mm-mm.
immediately they were not going to be fine, and that's why I was so bullish on like the Lions being just right back to the caliber team they have been the past couple of
Yeah.
years because
I knew they were gonna
again,
I thought they were gonna be like four less wins. I was thinking they were gonna be right around 11, but you were like, "No, no, like they're 10 at best." You called
yeah.
that.
And now they're going to be 9 at best because I do think there's a real possibility. And as an Eagles fan, I am hoping that the Lions beat the Bears this weekend. So I think they might have one final, uh, kind of one final salute to the season going out by beating the Bears. But other than that, I mean, Goff has been fine this season. He hasn't been, it feels like the past month, like what you're saying, he's turning the ball over and he's just not like elevating the team to what they should be at and what they were at pockets of this season. But really, to me, it just feels like this defense that, again, where everybody said the second they get all their pieces back, they're going to just be a top 5 defense again. And now it feels like this defense can't stop anybody. They can't, what
Yeah.
is it? They can't generate a pass rush. I know they have injuries this year, but it feels like a lot different from last year where it was
Yeah,
like
last year
every
they had a
star,
legitimate excuse, right? Last year like they lost
every
2
star
deep in
defensive
almost
player.
yeah, they
Yeah.
pretty much lost 2 deep in every category.
Yeah.
Like,
And then this year, they're 18th in the league. They're just kind of average defense in the league. But again, it really comes down to I feel like they don't get turnovers when they need to, and they never stop anybody on third down. It just feels like this is one of those defenses where you just keep it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. Like it's just
yeah, it's very
over and
true.
over and over again. And that's why I'm terrified
I
that
don't know, I
our
do
fate.
feel like Dan Campbell's kind of lost that locker room after the coordinators left.
Well, I don't understand why when they started having offensive issues, he made it very publicly known that he was taking over the play calling duty for the offense. So completely
That's
throwing
because
his
of his
offensive
ego.
coordinator under the bus. Yeah, but completely throwing him under the bus, but then also not giving himself an out if the offense didn't improve. Like if the offense didn't improve, then you go, well, then why'd you make this switch? If you're the head coach and you can't improve this offense, like, what are you actually doing? Like, it just feels like there's not, again, it's an ego thing,
When have
obviously,
we
because
known
he
Dan
thought,
right, but when have we known Dan Campbell to, take it easy? We haven't, right?
yeah.
He's gonna go full head of steam into everything that he does, whatever he says. He's, he's an all-in guy. So,
Well, also, what is it? Silk Den one makes a great point. They have an abundance of riches. That is a great point because
mhm.
what the Lions got for trading away Stafford, like if you look at the sheet, it's like they got what is it? They got the Sam Laporta, they got Jared Goff, they got Montgomery. Like they traded all or they used all those picks in that trade to legitimately get like star running backs, their star tight end, a receiver. Like it's like everything that came from those picks were well drafted guys who actually worked out. And now they're sitting at 8-8 looking at the playoffs from the outside in.
Yeah.
An
And
abundance of
and
riches
and
is a great
and
way to
sitting
put
there
that.
watching that, Stafford go and win a ring and potentially going back there to get another.
Yeah. Next up on this list, Casino, we had the Minnesota Vikings, which they're much simpler. It was why'd they get rid of Sam Darnold for a guy they had no idea if he could play an
Yeah.
NFL quarterback?
We know
Like,
Sam Darnold has his issues with the pass rush and not getting rid of the ball and being able to see things develop faster. He struggles with that, but you can still work on that. Like those are things you can work on, or you can put people around him to help him in that situation. I don't understand the Sam Darnold deal. I would have kept him. Sam Darnold is now the only football player, only quarterback to go back-to-back seasons with 13 plus wins at multiple places, right? In back-to-back years, which is just wild. Good for him. Yeah, I don't understand. I just don't understand why the Vikings got rid of him. I just don't.
yeah. Well,
It
and
blew
it's
and
also
he also got him on a cheap deal too, dude.
I know. Well, that's the big thing. He honestly, it feels like the Cowboys and Vikings being on this same slide kind of makes sense because, again, would you rather have a quarterback who is a great regular season quarterback and kind of folds in the playoffs, or would you rather take your chances on a quarterback
Right.
where you don't know anything about?
And here's
Like,
the thing,
that's kind of what Darnold and Dak are.
right, and folds in the playoffs, right? And you're talking about Darnold still, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. We've seen him in the playoffs how many times here?
just once.
Exactly. So he's got room to develop. He's not like
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson who goes out there and just dumps in the playoffs every year, yet he's winning MVP after MVP after MVP. And then he goes into the playoffs and he's just like, well, I forgot how to play football. Very Tony Romo-esque of him to do, right? So Sam Darnold has room to fix these things. And I think Seattle is a great spot for him. I'm excited to see what he's going to do in the postseason. And we'll get to that when we get to him. And then for
And
the
then The
Yeah, and
last
then
one is the
oh,
Buccaneers at 16, which Gerard says, let's give Baker one more year, but I think the Bucks need a new head coach. That
I
is
thank
a
you.
thing that's
That's
been coming out
I
of
was going
Tampa.
to say that they need a new coach because they need Baker's doing fine. He's kind of almost Josh Allen light in a sense because like he's out there. You'll see him just do these crazy runs. He can come back in the fourth quarter sometimes, but not all the time. And we've seen that at the beginning of the year. He was doing that like crazy, and he was just the clutch player of the season or of the year
Yeah.
early on, and then just kind of fell off the cliff. I don't think an issue is Baker Mayfield. I think Baker is honestly a saving grace for you guys. He's doing everything he can, like Josh Allen, but he's not as good as Josh Allen, but he's doing as much as he possibly can.
But at one point,
You need to figure it out. At what point there needs to be a change? I think I agree with Gerard here. I think you need to change the coaches. You need something else in there. You need to fix, and it's not always the players. It's not always the players.
yeah. Well, also, same with the Colts, or same with the Cowboys and the Vikings being on that same thing. Kind of with the Colts and Bucks as well, which is just they started the season where it was like, this is the best team in the league. And then for whatever reason, I mean, you can probably put injuries on both teams, kind of both fell off. And now we're in this weird playoff scenario where the Panthers, even if you beat the Panthers, if the Falcons win,
Falcons win.
you're still out of the playoffs, which again, we thought they were going to win this division, what, a month and a half ago by 3.5 games? Like,
Oh,
and now it's
I
just
was
over.
I was arguing with somebody at the bar last night about it, and it bothered me because so apparently 2 days ago my coworker was working, the Bears fan, and one of our regulars who's a Packers fan or a Cowboys fan. Sorry, he was talking about, oh no, it's whoever wins that game, whoever wins the Panthers or Falcon. We're like, no, or Panthers Bucks game. We're like, no, and then so I was briefed on that. He was at the bar last night, and I laid into him, and in the best way. And then they know I shouldn't because they're a guest, but he's a regular. It's funny. My GM knows because like there's been a couple times where my GM's kind of like looking at us, but he knows that now we have a rapport and it's okay. And we don't raise our voices. We keep it quiet so we're not disturbing other guests. But like I'm just like, you're an idiot, Jay. Like you're dumb. Like watch like, and he does watch. And shout out, buddy. I know you watch these shows. But yeah, no, it's fun. But yeah, apparently he thought that it was a winner take all. It's not.
Well, it was
Um,
until Monday.
it
It
was
was
until
until
Monday.
Monday.
Now it's not. But
Uh,
yeah,
which also, we speak of the Bucks. Now let's speak about the Panthers because they have
'cause they're
their own tier,
right.
because they're in the I don't know. I don't know what to do with the Panthers because you
But so
can't
you know
put
what I
them.
liked? You know what I did? Like so when I was doing this, these two and then the next two, I put them in the order of where I think they will end up this season. So I
Yeah.
put the Panthers above the Bucks because I'm saying the Panthers are going to beat the Bucks this weekend, and they are going to go and get that last seed and be the number 4 somehow. Keep pounding, I guess. I don't know. Still a very, by the way, it's just still that's still a very I don't know. I don't know if I like
Questionable call,
yeah,
questionable. Yeah.
saying, yeah. But
But no,
go for it.
we can't put the Panthers on the this is fine level. And then also the next slide, whatever
I
that
just
one is called. Well, we can't put it in that one either
I
based on
have
what it's
no
called.
idea what this team
So
is, and I
you
kind
can't
of
put them there.
like that we don't know what they are. I really do. Last year we had the issue with the Texans. Like, what are the Texans? Are they good? Are they not good? We don't know,
Yeah.
and it frustrated us. I'm okay with not knowing what the Panthers are because it's exciting every week,
Yeah,
right?
the Panthers right now, 27th in the league in total offense. 27th. They just put up 54 passing yards last week. They're 15th in the league in total defense. And honestly, if they weren't winning the division, they would be the definition of a wild card team. This would be the perfect wild card team because they would legitimately be a wild card because you know nothing about them.
Yeah.
We've watched a
I
whole
mean, it's
season
they're
of
still
football.
you could still consider them a wild card, right? Come on.
Yeah. Gerard agrees with us. He says they are a question mark team. That's why they're on their own tier that is just question
I
marks because I
I
don't
love
know
it.
what to do with them.
But I'm
we
excited for
don't.
him. I'm excited
Uh,
for him, and I wish him
but
the best, and I
now,
do think they're gonna win that. I do think they're gonna win that division.
well, now they also have 2 shots to get in. They can lose, and then they would just be rooting for the Falcons, which I think the Falcons, again, the Falcons are playing the Saints. It's not like they're playing, a
Yeah.
team like fighting for the number 1 seed or whatever. But next up, we have 14 through 11, and this tier casino is called the bro, I'm straight up not having a good time, because we have the Steelers at, let me get what the actual rankings are, but it
So
goes from
it's
14 to 11, Steelers, Chargers, Ravens, Packers, I believe was the how I put them in there.
yeah.
But
Here, let's see. I have it right here. um, Steelers, Ravens, Packers, Chargers. Yep.
yeah, so that is 14 through 11. Let's first talk about the Steelers casino, and we compare them with the Ravens. They're playing on Sunday night to win the AFC North. Both of them, I feel like, are straight up not having a good time because, again, Steelers were supposed to win this division for the past month. It feels like every week it's like, okay, Steelers can win the division, and then they don't. Ravens were supposed to be, MVP season by Lamar, potential number 1 seed in the AFC, and now they're a Sunday night loss to the 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers away from not even making the
Yeah.
playoffs.
So for both of these teams, I feel sorry for the fans. I feel sorry for the fans because with the Steelers, it's time. I'm sorry. I it's time for their coach to move on, right?
Oh,
It's time. You all you do every season is get about that 9-8 or back in the day, what 9-7 or 8-8 whatever it was.
it is so funny. We had a TikTok comment on our Steelers last video where they said, actually, the Steelers have never finished 9-8 in a season. You guys don't know what you're talking about. We're 1 loss away from them finishing 9-8 after we said they would
But
finish
see,
9-8.
right, okay, maybe they never finished 9-8, but they
But they
it
knew what we were
always
talking about.
it
Yeah.
always feels like they are 9-8, right? That he's getting his team just over the hump to over 500, right? Just over it. And yeah, like it's getting ridiculous. You need some change. Like yes, those are winning seasons technically, but you need some change, right? You brought in a whole bunch of random players that just seemed like the geriatric league, right? Bringing in DK Metcalf, bringing in Rodgers. It's a lot of older guys that you're bringing in. And it seemed to work at first. And then DK started punching fans. And then Rodgers is just kind of running around not knowing what the hell to do. So it's done. Like the experiment's done. You need to Steelers, you will be fine. The Steelers will be fine. Their organization is a good organization. They will be able to figure it out, right? I at least I think so. You're missing your. I think you hit your. Are you there? Nope.
There we go.
There you go.
But yeah, and then when it comes to the Ravens, I mean, again, it's not a good look for your organization where the game before you can potentially win the division, your star quarterback who's won multiple MVPs is getting grilled at the podium asking if he even wants to be in Baltimore and be a Baltimore Raven. Did you see those clips?
I did see those clips, and I'm glad you brought that up because kind of Lamar seems the issue right now. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Harbaugh, I'm not too fond of him right now. I think there might need to be coaching change there as well. Again, Ravens, great organization. They'll figure it out. They always figure it out. They just do. And then, yeah, just it doesn't look like Lamar cares to be there anymore. He wants something else. King Henry, yes, he can still be King Henry, but he's old, right? For running back, King Henry is old. And
he's got a lot of mileage on him because man, they have
he's out there, he's running. You see all those stats. Everywhere he's gone, you're right. He's the mileage on him. Teams utilize him like crazy. Vrabel utilized him like insane in Tennessee, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, he's kind of fumbled the ball a lot recently, or a lot, right, this year. But you got to give the guy credit because if it wasn't, yes, he's fumbling football, but he's kind of your only bit of offense this year, especially on the ground game, because Lamar's not scrambling well. He's not doing what he normally does. So yeah, their questions I think those are valid questions. It's a shit time to bring them up, but those are valid questions of, do you even want to be here?
Yeah. Well, not only do you even want to be here, it's do you, what is it? Do you even want to play football? Again, because we've seen a lot of, I think a couple episodes ago, somebody brought it up where everybody was just saying he just looks completely disinterested in playing football, not just for the Ravens, but just playing football in general. And you do kind of get that vibe from him, which again is weird because a season ago you would have said, you know, he's in that category for ultimate competitor, do anything to win. And now it's just, I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know if he's banged up. I don't know if it's something behind the scenes we don't know. But yeah, it kind of does feel like he's just kind of taken a back seat to football. And now going into this game, I picked the Ravens to win, but I have no
Same here.
confidence.
I
And
picked the Ravens and no confidence as well. I don't know.
yeah. Well, and also this just feels like a game where they should hand the ball off to Derrick Henry, I don't know, 40 times and just try to win 10-7 like old school AFC North. And then who knows? And then what? You're going to play, you'd be the 4-5. You would play the Chargers first round, you play the Bills first round. Nobody's going to be picking you. Steelers or Ravens against those teams. But next up, we did have the Chargers casino. So again, this feels kind of like,
They
I don't
have
know,
a
just the team dead in the water. I have
yeah.
no faith in this
See,
Chargers team whatsoever.
neither do I. I mean, and for me, it's they have they have a team there. They just can't get it going. Like it's just basically a ship doing circles in the cove, right? Just not being able to get through to get out of there, dude. I'm so frustrated with this team. I like Justin Herbert. I know you don't really care for him. I've gone back and forth. I'm like sometimes I'm like, I think you're right, but I like him and what he is doing with the worst offensive line out there. Like it is impressive. I think the other Harbaugh brother, I'm not going to try to Jim and John. Like I just forget their names. Like it's them.
Yeah.
They're one person. They're coaching the same team. Yeah. Anyway, I feel bad for this Chargers team. I really hope my Patriots get to play them in the first round. We'll see if that works out that way. And I mean, the Patriots might lose to them. Who knows? Because because I will still put the Chargers outside of, let's take the Steelers and Ravens out of it. The Chargers, they still have a chance to at least win a game in the postseason. I don't think the Ravens or the Steelers do. I think whoever they meet in the postseason, they're going to lose to. But I think the Chargers could still win one. And that's not just saying, it's not me just trying to like put up for it if they play my Patriots and they beat them. I'm saying that now. I legitimately think this Chargers team could win because they do have a good foundation. They just can't seem to get this boat going.
Well, their defense right now is top 5 in the league. They have they're 4th overall in total defense. Their offense is 12th in the league in total offense. But
But it
again, you
doesn't
look
look like
at
it.
no, you look who they have on the season. They have Vidal and Hampton are their 2 leading rushers on the team. Vidal has 631 yards. Hampton has 545 yards on the season. Receiving, Lad McConkey has 800 receiving yards. Keenan Allen has 741. Quinyon Johnson has 735. And then Gadsden, the rookie tight end, has 641. So it's like they're a team. It feels like a very Harbaugh team, which is they're smash mouth. Nobody's really the star, and they're all kind of just playing together. But again, the thing is, they're all playing together on a level playing field, and it doesn't feel like anybody's elevated. It doesn't feel like they have that one star, like like the Lions, who we were just talking about, where it's like they have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is going to get the ball when it matters. I talked about, I think on Wednesday's show, where it's like all the NFC West teams feel the exact same because it's like the entire offense for the Rams goes through Nakua. The entire offense for the Seahawks goes through Smith and Jigba. The entire offense for the 49ers goes through McCaffrey. They don't have that for the Chargers because even Herbert on the season, 3,700 yards, 26 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. It's not like those are, godly quarterbacking numbers where he's now just cemented in the top 5 of quarterbacks in this league, which I know everybody falls over themselves to put him in. But again, we almost could have put the Chargers and Panthers on that I don't know slide because they feel like, again, just a team where you just go, I don't know. I could see this team winning 2 games in the playoffs and all of a sudden they're in the AFC Championship, or I could see them just losing by 10 to whoever in the wild card round. Like, I have no idea what to do with this Chargers team. And especially Herbert, a little bit of the Darnold thing, which is just every time we see him in the playoffs is usually his worst game of the year. So who knows? Who knows? And then last team on this tier is the Green Bay Packers, which again, they just got Diggs. Parsons is out for the season, but
you just can't
they
trust
are.
the team.
I believe this week when they play the Vikings, it's going to be Malik Willis back in there. So who knows about the health of Jordan Love going into the playoffs? This team is just feels like the Lions in that same division. They're just banged up.
Totally true. And you know what? Malik going in there wouldn't be the worst thing. I think he's a pretty decent backup.
He's
right?
good.
He's elusive. He runs the football, I think, way better than Love. And
honestly, I think he could be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins next year. I think he would actually fit that system pretty good. I think he would actually look good in that system. But yeah, when it comes to the Packers, Casino, if you had to bet your life that they make it out of the wild card round, would you say they do or they don't?
Ooh, the only way they do is if they play the Bears, because that because of that rivalry, right? They had the Bears number. They just do, right? And the Bears barely won that last game. So
if the playoffs started today, they would be playing the Bears. So
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, so and that's probably what's gonna happen. So they have a chance with playing the Bears just because of the rivalry, and they know that team, and they just, when you play rivals, you bring it up to a new level, right? There's a new tier. So that's their way out of the first round. That's their way out of the first round, because if they play anybody else, I just don't think that they'll have it. I think they'll just get ran all over. However, there is the wild card with Malik, because him coming in and being so elusive on the ground, that, you've planned for Love this whole time, and then now you have Malik Willis coming in there, and you're like, okay, now we've got to change up how we guard this guy and how we play defense on this team. You don't know. So I think the if they play the Bears, they have a chance, and if they play the Bears and Malik is in, which he would be, you've got a pretty good chance there to upset.
Yeah. Moving right along. Now we have a lot of teams on this level. It is our second to last slide. It's the 10 through 4 because they all fit in this slide name, which is this is the should be a contender level, because we have in order right here. Up, if I can find it. There we go. We have the Eagles at 10, Texans at 9, Bears at 8, Bills at 7, Rams at 6, 49ers at 5, and Broncos at 4. So these are, obviously by this name, these are the top 10, the 10 through 4.
And you want
go ahead.
The crazy thing for all of these teams, it's simply I trust either their offense or I trust their defense, and I don't trust the other. That's essentially what's going on. Outside of the Eagles, we talked about it on Monday, where the Eagles, they don't play a full game. Like when they're on, their offenses and defenses can play great at the same time, but then they both just blow at the same time that you're just like, what the hell's going on here? So if this team is good, your team is so good on paper, and when they are actually playing to what they should be playing to, their caliber, with all the pieces they have, this is another team. This is a team that will go and win the Super Bowl again. It'll happen.
Oh,
But
trust me. After
what's
that,
going on? What's going on
yeah,
with your team? I don't know. Every other team, we'll start breaking down the teams in a sec, but every other team, it's offense or defense. Texans can't trust their offense. Great defense. Bears offense is fun and they've got a lot of trick plays with Ben Johnson. They'll figure it out and they always do. Defense, eh. Outside of turnovers, they're nothing. Bills again can't trust their defense. Josh Allen hero ball. Rams, they're almost in the kind of the same thing as the Eagles. It's just like you're like okay, you're playing great, and then wait, what just happened? How did that?
I
How did
I
that? How did
still
that
have no
happen?
idea how they lost that Thursday game.
I
I
don't.
don't
I
I
don't know.
don't know.
And so they're
Or Monday game,
surprising.
I'm
And so
sorry.
when they lost, they lost to the Panthers and then they lost to the Falcons. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like how is that happening? So they're
Dude,
kind
not
of a
only
weird
did
and
they
they're kind of
lose
an
to the
anomaly.
Falcons,
Yeah,
they were down by 3 touchdowns to the
yeah,
Falcons.
they're an anomaly. They're an anomaly. I don't know what's going on with them. And then yeah, the Niners comes down to their defense. Can't trust it. Obviously, they can score a shit ton of points. Go Brock Purdy, and then the Broncos, vice versa. Defense pretty good, and offense pretty as well. So I don't know. But I do have the
Well,
Broncos higher. So
Well, see, so let's break it down. So on this one, again, the Eagles, when they played the way they did that first half against Buffalo, offensively and defensively, I was like, oh, this team finally figured it out. They're going
mhm.
back to the Super Bowl. And then halftime happened. I was on cloud nine. At the end of that game, I was like, oh, like I was like, they might as well have lost that game. Every single ounce of confidence I had drained out of me slowly in that third and fourth quarter. Texans, again, I still think Davis Mills is the best quarterback they have on that team, and they're
I
sticking with
agree.
CJ Stroud. So who knows what that'll do?
And it sucks
Bears,
because you and I both liked Stroud when he came in the
yeah,
league, and I don't know, man. You're right. It's
it's
just like
kind of almost like the Malik Willis thing, which is just we both like Jordan Love, but this team plays harder when Malik Willis is in. The Texans feel like they just click more when Davis Mills is in, and I think CJ Stroud and Jordan
they
Love are
rally
better.
they rally around Mills a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. They just again when he came into that Bears game or the last game they played, it was just like he did that long touchdown on the side. It just felt like it rejuvenated that team. And Davis Mills was 3-0 with this Texans team, and then Stroud just came in, and I don't know. They just feel less. But then with the Bears defense again all these other teams, it's like, oh, their defense isn't that good. But it's kind of middle of the road. The Bears defense is, again, we keep harping on this because it's insane. They're 28th in the league. Like
Mhm.
they are a bottom 5 defense. If they do not get a turnover, you can, again, what we just saw with the 49ers, you can put 35 plus on them like easy. They have nobody on that defense that is doing anything
Everybody kind of
except getting
seems like they're in the
turnovers.
wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, I mean, those some of those 49ers touchdowns, the guy was wide open,
Yeah.
like wide open. So I
Yeah. And then
don't,
you just
it's
see the
never,
Bears players just kind of looking at each other and like doing the Spider-Man thing, like, you dad.
yeah, it's never happened where a bottom 5 defense has won a Super Bowl.
Oh,
It
I don't
just
think the Bears
doesn't
are gonna win
happen.
a Super Bowl.
No. And then with Bills and Broncos are the only 2 teams on this list where they have top 10 offenses and defenses, but I feel like again with the Bills, how do you lose that Eagles game at home when the other team doesn't complete a pass in the second half? The Eagles defense is good. It's not great. It's been very hit or miss the entire season. And again, they've been good since the bye. They've been the best team since the
Again, that
bye,
was a
but
monsoon game. You gotta take it for what it was. If it was snowing oh man, Josh Allen would have killed it. He would have slayed. But no, it was like, oh, it's not frozen. Just wet.
This comment I legitimately completely disagree with. It says defense doesn't matter. The Bears have only scored under 20 once this year. Yeah, did they
Defense,
score over 20 in that 49ers game? And they lost that, right? So it's like, yeah,
yeah.
who cares if they scored more than
Defense
20?
matter. Talk about Super Bowl 50. I think Peyton Manning would totally disagree with you on that one. Like Peyton Manning 100%. I mean, that was the Von Miller Super
Yeah.
Bowl. Like, he won that Super Bowl for that team because Peyton Manning couldn't throw a ball further than 10 yards, or because if he tried to throw 11, it was only going 10 yards. So, I mean, defense matters. Defense matters. I do disagree as well.
Leonard Pryor says the Giants and Colts won the Super Bowls with low bottom 5 defenses. No, they did not. There's no way there's no way the Giants had bottom 5 defenses when they were shutting down Tom Brady.
I'll tell you right now,
There's
I
no
don't know.
way.
I blocked both those games out of memory, so I don't know.
Well, and the Colts also got pretty lucky in playing Rex Grossman in that Super Bowl. So again, I don't see any Rex Grossman level quarterbacks in this playoff tier right here. So let's get back to this. Again, the Bills should have won that game. The Broncos and the Rams feel like they should be going to the Super Bowl, and yet nobody has confidence in either of these teams. Everybody had all the confidence in the world in the Rams until that Monday night game. And then now it's up in the air. And is the dark horse on this thing? Is it the 49ers? Are the 49ers just going back to the Super Bowl?
The Niners moved up for me, man. I don't think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl. I think that teams with good offenses can go and just absolutely just slay. I know that the Bears, that they went out there, they put up points, and it was a shootout, but there's better defenses than the Bears, right? With the same caliber offense. So
yeah,
let's not get too crazy here. Are the Niners moved up in my list? Hell yeah. And I really hope that the Seahawks get the number 1 seed. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, this game. I can't wait to see it.
And also, I looked it up because I was like, the Giants is just a lie. The Colts had the 32nd worst run defense when they won the Super Bowl in 2006. That was only because their safety,
what was their total defense?
That's what I'm looking up. But that was only because Bob Sanders, their all-pro safety, missed pretty much that entire season. The second he came back, they never allowed another 100-yard rusher. So, again, they did not win the Super Bowl with a bottom 5 defense. They won it with the worst run defense that as soon as their safety came back, they were one of the best run defenses. So, again, there's layers to this. The Bears, who is the best defensive player the Bears are missing right now? Because last I checked, they were getting all their defensive players back for the past month. So again, I just think it's just cherry picking stats right there. This Gregory Stevens 3992 says 2 games in Chicago after this Detroit win. I want to see San Fran or LA come play in the snow. Well, they wouldn't. If San Francisco wins, they're all home games for the rest of the season. LA, again, they almost won. They actually played better in the snow last year when it started snowing in Philly than when it wasn't. So,
but the one thing that you can consider though is the travel. It's travel in a playoff, So you got that going for you too. I'll tell you right, zero teams that play on the West Coast or play down south, like near Florida, whatnot, like Jacksonville, whatever. No team wants to go and play in the cold. Nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it.
That's right. Everybody, when they get old, move to Florida. Nobody wants to be in the cold. Nobody.
100%. So, yeah, and do you think the Niners have an extra pep in their step because they might be able to go play in their home stadium for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I think they would have to. Also, Whip Hero 2755 says, "What up, guys?" or "What's up, guys? Hope you all have had a good week." We have, and it's going to be a better week because last week of football, and then we get into the playoffs. But last team, so I think again, Rams Broncos were the pick, but if this was honestly any combination of these teams on this list would not surprise me in the Super Bowl outside of maybe Texans. Bears. If those were the 2 teams in the Super Bowl, I would be shocked of how they got there. Now, finally, and we've gotten some comments saying Jags can do it. They can beat the Broncos.
Let's get to the next tier because they have not shown up yet on my power rankings.
Jags going to the AFC Championship. Everybody's wondering where the Jaguars are, Casino, and where they are is on the last slide because Casino and myself, we've relented. They are a top 3 team in this league right now because The final three go Jaguars at number 3, Patriots at number 2, Seahawks at number 1. And again, after this weekend, let's say the Jaguars win, the Seahawks lose, the Patriots. Are you guys playing your starters?
Yes. Vrabel wants to play the majority of the starters. That's on the table. That's what's most likely. We haven't announced that we're going to sit anybody. So we are going to play starters. We don't know how long. We won't see, obviously, because we'll be playing at the same time the Broncos and Chargers game is. So we don't know if we can earn that seed. Obviously, they're doing that on purpose. So neither the Broncos or the Patriots can just sit their players intentionally. They still want good football. And yeah, so to my knowledge, we are going to continue to play. That's just how the Patriots. The Patriots are. It's so hard for me not to. I try not to. But anyway, the Patriots, Vrabel said that they don't want to sit their stars because they just want to keep their mindset and keep doing what they're doing. And
Yeah.
I like that. Hopefully they don't get more injuries, but I like that mentality. Keep them fresh. Keep them.
Dude,
I mean,
I would feel the exact same way until in that Bills game, the Eagles lost 4 starters, and I was like, all right, sit everybody next week. Second or third seed does not matter to me whatsoever. Just get healthy.
Well, see, here's the thing. It does matter for the Pats because they are down so many players. They are just down so many players. Like, it's at that point where you kind of got to take that gamble and hope that the Chargers are sitting their players, but you do your damn best to go out there and play football and put your fingers crossed. The Broncos have almost lost to the Chiefs, who had their third string. So I mean, the Broncos have been barely beating some teams down the stretch, who weren't fully loaded. So there is a chance. There's a chance that the Chargers could come out and do this.
Well, this also says by our same guy, Whip Hero 2755, Patriots are playing versus the Dolphins. Dolphins have played on and off last few weeks. Yeah, Dolphins, I'll tell you, with Ewers, he looks good.
Yeah.
Ewers
so
looks
it's
good.
not so again, it's not the end of the world if the Patriots lose to the Dolphins because I'm so happy your Eagles won last week. Because now they don't have to worry about this.
Me too.
They don't have to worry about this game as much, but there's still that number 1 seed on the line, and there's a possibility. So yes, playing the Dolphins being streaky, Ewers, we like him over there, and we think that Tua is the issue. We've already talked about that. Yeah, I'm a little nervous for the game, but I'm not freaking out. I just want to start seeing some players come back. They're missing so many players, and now let's get into it. Stephon Diggs having some issues, and Barmore having some issues as well. They have 2 Patriot players who are it's so dumb. 2 Patriot players who are both facing criminal charges going into the playoffs. Yay, Patriots. Oh, and have you seen the text messages and the threads and all that stuff that has been sent? And oh, dude, it doesn't look good. And here's the thing: even if they do settle out of court for both the players, I just saw my buddy just post. I'll send it to you. Sent me a link of the media in the locker room and talking to Barmore today, and he just kept saying, "Just focusing on Miami. I'm here to play football. Focusing on Miami, here to play football." It was like at every question they ask him, it's just focusing on Miami, here to play football.
Who would have thought, as Patriots fan, you would long for the days when your owner was just getting jerked off in massage parlors? I mean, at least he wasn't seeing the field. He was out of the field playing it. And now it's
apparently there's tapes of it that
of him getting jerked off.
Well, there's apparently the footage of not available to public. Like it is around somewhere. Apparently, there is footage. Nothing like that you and I could look up or anything.
I would never look that up.
Yeah, if it ever got released, would you watch it? Would you watch that?
No. Why would I watch that?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. No.
Sadly, I would not. I know you freaks over in New England would watch it if it was Drake May. Video of him getting.
I would be the one in the video jerking him off. Like, come on now, 100%. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Let's go.
Yeah, you'd be like, it helps if it helps his playoff chances by 1%.
So let's get into why I have them. So before we get into the Jags, we'll just talk about my team. We've already just kind of talked about Diggs. I have the Pats at 2, and so much of this is due to 3 people, and one is kind of like, eh. It is Vrabel, May, and McDaniels. McDaniels, I want to say, his play calling, like he's definitely a coordinator. He is definitely a coordinator. He is not a head coach. We figured that out. So let's put
Mhm.
him third on the list. But Drake May and Vrabel, those are the 2 guys where I trust them. Drake May is out there. This last game, he broke the quarterback rating. He broke how you rank the QB. Like, did you see that?
I did not.
Look it up. Look at Drake May breaking quarterback QBR
QBR.
QBR first half. Look it up. It's insane. No quarterback has ever done that in 14,000 plus games, whatever they said. They were talking about it on some show. He's the only quarterback to ever hit this number. That number that has not been passed before.
Drake May just played the best QBR game in NFL history. His 99.8 mark is now number 1 on the QBR leaderboard. As a reminder, QBR is adjusted for air and for strength of opponent. So that's crazy. The difference is how they do these metrics. This is on Reddit. The top comment says, no offense, but if Brady's 29 for 34 for 380 and 6 touchdowns is only a 95.6, I'm not sure I care too much about that metric.
Okay,
That
right.
is a good point.
That's a
That
good
is a good
point.
point.
But here's the thing. He was 19 for 21, right? There was a pass interference in there, all that. So it was almost damn near perfect. And they benched him a quarter and a half early.
Yeah.
Dude,
But also there was
dumb.
also a 7 touchdown, 0 turnover game from Nick Foles against the Raiders. Again, I don't
Just throwing
understand
that out there.
QBR.
I don't
I
either. I'm just throwing that out there that
No, that is crazy though.
With Drake May, he had Kyle Williams, who's had a couple touchdowns and a couple catches this season, but he's an undrafted rookie. And then Chisholm, who made the 53-man roster, Efton Chisholm the third, watched him on the Force for Foxborough. Really cool story with him. And he's kind of like Edelman light, and I really hope that he gets more playing time because after his first catch, I don't know if you watched that. When he got his first catch, it was a 30-yard catch and run. He caught it like at the 10-yard mark and then ran for like 20. But he got up and he had the face and like the mannerisms of Edelman making a really good play. And just the same stand up, the same looking forward, crazy eyes, crazy hand thing. I was like, oh shit. So again, it's kind of what I don't want to try to. I'm really hard trying really hard. I'm trying really hard not to compare Drake with Tom, but what Drake is doing well is he is making it look easy for players that would probably have a hard time on other teams. So both of these players came out and it was just Diggs and them because you had Booty, Douglas, Hollins on IR, all these other receivers are out, and they just kind of come in and they look like they are the starting receivers, which is really cool. So I got to give
Yeah.
it to May. That's why they're at 2. Yes, they have an easier opponent. Drake May is my MVP. I know Stafford's having a great season, but outside of touchdowns and touchdowns to interceptions, Drake May is beating him in every category. He's also got more rushing touchdowns, and more rushing yards. And in common opponents, Patriots 6-0 because everybody's like, oh well, they're still playing easier teams. In common opponents, Patriots are 6-0, and Rams are 4-2. So Drake May, my MVP. It's Drake May, it's Vrabel. That's why they're 2, and we'll move forward. They can totally
Honestly, it feels like the MVP this year should be Christian McCaffrey. I feel like the entire team runs through him.
That's phenomenal. Like the entire team does run through him, but also the entire team runs through Drake May.
Yeah, but it's easier for a quarterback to have the entire team run through or the entire offense run through him. But McCaffrey,
I would definitely listen to an argument for McCaffrey because he is looking like this is the best. He's looking like he did, 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, right now, what is it for Christian McCaffrey? And the reason I say it should be him for rushing, he has 1,180 yards and 10
Yeah.
touchdowns. For receiving, he has 900 yards receiving and 7 touchdowns. So he's going over 2,000 yards by himself if
Yeah.
they play
No,
on Thursday
what he is
in a
doing is
must-win
so
game.
impressive. I would definitely hear out that argument. So now let's move backwards. Let's get to the Jags.
Well,
Jags,
here,
I told
wait. First, we got a bunch of Jags comments, so
Oh,
let's put
yeah.
them on the screen real quick.
Let's get
So
into it
for
because
the
now let's start
Jags,
talking about them. Love it.
Whip Hero 2755 says Jets can do it. They have to beat the Broncos at the Broncos beforehand. Jags going to the AFC Championship. The prince that promised has arrived. Patriots. Oh, we saw that one. This is the one I want to talk about. If the Jags win during the 1 p.m. time, Broncos and Pats have to win, which is a wrinkle in this. Is if Patriots get upset, if Broncos get upset, Jags would be the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
And
That's crazy.
I would be all for it. Good for the Jags. Like, good for Trevor Lawrence. We've liked Trevor Lawrence. Their coach, why am I blanking on his name?
Liam Cohen.
Dude, he's on the short list also for Coach of the Year. Like, what Ben Johnson, Vrabel, and Cohen have done is phenomenal with their teams. Like, just absolutely phenomenal. It's awesome to see. Stop. But
it's
no,
also
they're a good team. They're a really good team. I told you what now 6-7 weeks ago that I'm like, okay, hey, now we got to start watching this team. And every
I
week
held off for as long as I could.
Dude, they have gotten better. They've gotten better and better and better. And the less turnovers. This team has turned. This is a good team. And out of every team in the AFC, the team I'm worried about the most is the Jaguars to play.
I completely agree.
As a Patriots fan, because the Bills, we should have had that second game. The Pats should have had the second game. But I digress on that. Like, I can see the Patriots beating any of those teams in the AFC, including the Broncos, because it's really just the defenses, right?
Yeah.
And the Patriots have played good defenses and they've lit them up.
Yeah.
So
no,
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about that high-powered offense that the Jags have with that defense as well. Like, ugh.
Yeah. Well, no, we have a friend who's a Bills fan, and he said, "What is the AFC team I should be scared of?" I said Jags 100%. I said they're under the radar. You don't want to play them. Gregory Stevens 3992 says, "Did anyone have those 3 teams as 1, 2, and 3 on their scorecard this year?
No.
The 3 teams being Patriots, Jags, Seahawks.
The Jags impressed me. I can't remember if I had them in the playoffs or not. I don't think I did. Before this.
Oh, you know what? Actually, I have it saved here. Let me.
I did have the Pats making the playoffs, and I did have the Seahawks winning that division. So at least I got the Seahawks right.
No, you did not have Jags.
I did not have the Jags.
Playoffs.
So the Jags are a very and I think the reason I didn't, if I recall right, the main reason I didn't have the Jags, I just can't trust Trevor Lawrence because he's a turnover goddamn machine. And Cohen coming and being a first-year coach with them and Duval and not all that stuff. I just was not too sure what to think of the Jags, but they have got it figured out, and they are good. They are scary, and teams who figure it out late on in the season and they just keep progressing, and you don't see them trip. Those are the teams that go on and do great things. So, yeah, I'm very worried about the Jags, and there's a very good possibility that the Broncos could lose to the Chargers, and we could lose to the Dolphins. So,
yeah,
like, this is fun. Like, it's fun. It's exciting. Again, I did call the Seahawks, though. I'm happy about that. Hopefully, I didn't have them have the number 1 seed. Good on them. Let's go. Go see chickens.
Gregory Stevens also says, anyone notice how Ben Johnson just keeps winning the NFC North? What do you mean keep winning? This is his first season. Maybe if he keeps like years from now, but this is his first season, and he won it, and now they're going to be the 2nd seed. So we'll see how that goes off. Back with Whip Hero, he says, anyone notice how the Bucks fell off this year without Liam? But see, they really didn't until the last month. Like, their offense looked almost better the first half of the season than it did last year. And then people got hurt. It got weird, blah, blah, blah. He also says, got to get the Mayo out. Casino would love that. Talking about the Drake May Yeah, thing. Broncos Super Bowl champs could very well happen. Don't be surprised if the Lions upset the Bears. As an Eagles fan, I am crossing my fingers that that happens. Pretty sure Trevor almost did it versus the Jets, talking about that perfect QBR. He was saying overall QBR, blah, blah, blah. It feels like QBR doesn't account for a lot, but also accounts for stuff that isn't clear. I also have had that issue with trying to understand QBR, which is just if you throw the ball away in a situation where there was nobody open, that actually raises your QBR as if it was just a incomplete pass to like a covered guy. So QBR like factors in what the smart play on that, like the smart pass play was on that particular play. So again, how all that is, constructed makes no sense to me.
Yeah. So my Patriot chat just put this in. Apparently, HN Waller and probably Waddle all out for Sunday. So okay.
So they might be, yeah.
Might
This says
be
a
pretty
high
good there.
QBR means rating means you're not taking the big shots downfield. I don't think that's true because the big shots downfield, if they're completed and it's the right pass, even if it's incompleted, I think it factors all that shit in. Again,
Right. Yeah,
I don't understand it.
I feel like that's why Drake May has had, because it would have hurt him a lot, because Drake May has had a lot of over 100 QBRs this season, and most of his passes have been downfield. He's the best. He's the best deep ball thrower in the league currently, and so yeah, I don't know. QBR, figure it out. Oh wait, we got to figure it out. You're right.
Also, we have two cases from Whip Hero. Trevor Lawrence very well could be sneaky snake in the MVP conversations. If he gets 5 touchdowns and 243 yards versus the Titans, he would have 40 touchdowns and 4,000 yards. But again, I don't feel like destroying the Titans, the second worst team in the league in the last game of the season, will suddenly catapult him over 2 other guys. I think he would.
No, it won't.
You can put him in the top 5, but I don't think you can put him right now over somebody like Drake May or Matthew Stafford. Also makes the case that Bijan Robinson. I'll tell you what, Bijan Robinson after that Monday night game, 1,445 yards rushing, 810 yards
but
receiving.
Again, we've talked about it. It's an MVP award, or it's a quarterback award.
It's also, I don't think you can give it to a guy whose his team isn't in the playoffs. Like he would have to be having. I mean, if Saquon got over the most, scrimmage yards in NFL history.
See, I agree with that. I do agree with that because, and that's why I'm going more Drake May right now over Stafford. Right? Is they'll finish at least one game better than the Rams, even if they lose. And where was I going with this?
The Rams are going to be the 5th seed or whatever. The Patriots are going to be the 2nd or 1st seed.
You're right, and they won their division and etc.
But see, the issue with that is the divisions they play in are so polar opposite of each other. They're going to have 3 playoff teams.
That's true.
The Patriots are going to have the 1, and then the Bills are going to be the last wild card team.
I totally agree with that, right? Because they have to play the Seahawks and the Niners twice. Like that's, and then the Pats, they get the Jets and the Dolphins twice. Like, okay. I totally get that. But again, common opponents, 6-0, 4-2.
I agree with that.
That needs to be taken in consideration.
Again, I'm not mad about the case, and I'm not saying you can't make the case. I
mean, right now, I think it's still either players. I think it's either players to lose currently. But if Drake May comes out and he gets pulled again, and say he has another 4 or 5 touchdown game, even with an interception in there, and he gets pulled, and he has 370 yards or whatever it is, you got to give it to him. You got to give it to him.
Yeah. Last couple things here. Only him and Faulkner ever got 1,000 in each. I have no idea. I feel like so Marshall Faulk and Christian McCaffrey, I feel like wasn't there a season where somebody else did that? I don't know, but he might be right. I don't know that off the top of my head. Jags got to get their revenge for 2017. I think that was with who they would play in the first round. Can't wait for the Chargers. Dirty Dan Milkman, great name, says, can't wait for the Chargers to take the Patriots round 1.
Great name, great logo.
Great name, great icon right there. Dirty Dan Milkman. That's just fun to say.
I know, I don't know if you missed this, Dirty Dan, but I did. It's so funny. But I did mention that. I was like, there is a possibility there where the Chargers, we still just kind of aren't sure because they have a great foundation for a team. They just can't get it figured out. And having a bad O line is not so bad against the Pats because the Pats don't really have a pass rush. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's a very good possibility where that could be the case. I'm just saying, as a Pats fan, I would much rather see playing the Chargers than playing the Bills for a third time, where both games have gone this close.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all.
Last comment on this, then we will end the power rankings.
This is a win season for me, and I don't give it two shits. Win season
That's
for
very
me.
true.
And yeah, Seattle, you know why they're number one. They're just good.
49ers have scored 90 points in 2 games. They are humming and going all the way.
Yeah,
also, this is the perfect one. I mean, yeah, but they can't stop anybody. Also, they need to score 90 because they can't stop anybody. This will be actually the last one because Jags played the Pats in 2017 AFC Championship.
I knew
where
what he
they
was
had
talking about.
He was never down. If you know, you know. We do remember that game because what is it? You and I watched that game together. And then we watched the Eagles. Yeah, then we watched the Eagles Vikings game together to go to the Super Bowl. Remember, we were at your old house. Your brother and all of our friends were there. Yeah, and that also might be the start of where we started being like, we should do a sports podcast. And then we literally.
Oh no, it was way before that still too.
Yeah,
I think it was still a couple years before that, dude. We've been talking about doing a sports podcast ever since like. You dabbled in the podcasting, back like straight out of high school.
2009.
Yeah.
I have episodes from 2009, which is insane. That has been the NFL power rankings for week 18.
We're just dumbasses, and we decided to do it when we both had 1-year-olds.
Yeah, no, we should have. Yeah, this is we should be going on year 10 right now.
We're so fucking dumb.
Actually, it would have been year 15 if we would have started in 2010 when we wanted to. But again, life gets in the way.
So I don't know.
Life finds a way. Last thing before we get out of here, Casino, is college football had some games yesterday.
There's only been one good college football game so far.
No, I'll tell you what, these playoff games have been just awful. Just awful.
Last night was good. Last night was fun.
Yeah, thank God for that Ole Miss Georgia game, which again,
outside of controversy, which was crazy.
Outside of the 45 minutes it took for the last 5 seconds of this game to play out, it was a really good game.
Of the game to play out.
Yeah. But again, that was all. And the thing that annoyed the shit out of me, it had nothing to do with the game. It was just for the spread. That's why it took so long at the end of it. It was all just points. Like nothing else in that mattered. Everybody knew everybody knew Georgia wasn't going to score from their 20-yard line when they started doing laterals at the 23-yard line. Like everybody knew that ball wasn't going in. But as far as these games go, I said on Wednesday, I thought there was a real chance that Miami could upset Ohio State. And then I stupidly picked Ohio State.
Dude, that defense is so good.
Dude, Miami's good. And I'll tell you what, Miami, Indiana feels like a great, feels like a great game to go to the championship.
Wait, how about this Final Four, though, right? You got Oregon. Yes, we know Oregon has been there before, but Oregon, Indiana, Ole Miss, Miami, let's go.
Yeah. Dude, and I'll tell you what, Ole Miss has now just become like the college football – just everybody rallies behind this team. They're chanting 100%. Fuck Lane Kiffin.
I totally agree. I'm on that boat. I am on that train. I'm standing next to the conductor. I'm like, can I toot the horn 100% because goddamn Lane Kiffin. I told you what he should have done. Just been like, I'm committed. I'm in. If you want me, you let me finish with this team. We're doing something special this year. And if you can't handle that, you find somebody else. But they didn't want anybody else. They wanted Lane Kiffin.
I know. It's so stupid.
I guarantee you they would have been like, and maybe they didn't, but I really do think that he didn't even ask that. Or he didn't even propose that. Or no. If they did, like he didn't push back at all. 100%. You say, I'm finishing this season. We're doing something special. I'm committed. If you want me, I'm here after the season. We're gone. Let's go.
This is we've had this discussion on this show a lot. I hate when people are like, "Oh, well, you don't pocket watch somebody, like don't mess with somebody's money." When you say that about somebody that is already filthy rich, it aggravates me beyond like I can't comprehend it in my brain. Lane Kiffin already has generational wealth from being a coach for the past however many years you want to say he
Totally, he
has.
does. And
It doesn't matter.
see,
These don't matter.
I agree with you, but I disagree with you because more money is more money, right? Especially you don't know how the world's changing. The world's just insane right now. More money
You
is great.
don't. The difference between 12 million and 20 million is not as big of a difference
It's
as
fucking 8
if you
million.
were. Yeah, but if you were, but again, that's a difference to us. When you're already in that tax bracket, there's no difference between $100 and $200 for you and I. It's just you go, oh, I had more money than I thought I did. For these coaches that are already worth millions of dollars, where you go, well, I mean, he had to take it. He got a pay raise by $8 million. It's like the guy's already worth $50 million. What you think him being $58 million and $65 million, there's a huge difference. Like he was struggling on
Yes.
$48
No, it's
million.
not you're struggling, but it's
Like,
nice to
no,
and then you can set up your families for future generations. I
they're
I
already
disagree.
set up.
I don't care.
They're
I
already set
disagree.
up.
They could be more set up because at this point in time, with how the economy is out there, I'm gonna take as much money as I fucking can. But
Yeah, but you're
I
thinking
don't
by our poor thoughts. You're not thinking by rich thoughts. He got what is it at Ole Miss? He was signed a contract that was $9 million per year. He signed with LSU for $14 million. Again, it's not like this giant leap where it's like, well, he had to take it. They were going to give him $100 million. They gave him $6 more million. It's like, again, he's already rich. He's already a rich guy. And like you said, the thing we do agree on is they wanted him regardless. It's not like he was in a pool with other candidates. So say, hey, I don't want to come off like a giant asshole. We have a chance to win the national championship game. Sign me the day after the season ends. Like I have all these kids I recruited on my team who are excited that we could potentially win an NFC or an NFC NCAA championship. We can technically win the bowl. We can win the college football championship, and now they're one game away from being in that game with a. Now we do have to talk where the head coach for Ole Miss, it does feel like the city, the fans, the players
everybody's
are kind of
behind him.
rallying around this guy and
And
just
I'm all for it. And to be honest, no matter how much it would be cool to see Miami with that defense who barely got in and that whole Notre Dame, this or that. It would be cool, but I want to see Ole Miss to go there. I don't want to see them have a shot at it. I want to see them have a shot at it because Miami, guess what? You've already proven yourself, right? No, you barely got in. You barely got in. You checked it. You got all the way to where you got. That's good on you. Good on you. But I want to see Ole Miss go through. And then Oregon, I've never disliked Oregon. I'm Oregon over most teams. But I would love to see Indiana. Indiana, Old Miss. Come on. That would be great because you've seen Miami do it, right? You see Miami there. You've seen Oregon there. Let's get Indiana. Let's get Ole Miss. Go for a national championship. You either got, the team that can shove it to Lane Kiffin, or you got Indiana who's got the Heisman Trophy winner. And I think that would be a very fun national championship.
Also, you have a real shot of it being the undefeated Indiana team against this Miami team that almost didn't get in. And now they're, what is it, like this underdog
David
that beat
Goliath
Ohio
kind of
State.
situation, yeah.
Yeah, they beat Texas A&M in the play-in game, basically. It's like, I don't know. I just feel like
Indiana.
Ole
So, but
Miss,
Indiana's and Miami's defenses are just so good.
yeah, dude. And again, Ole Miss has the story. Really, Oregon feels like the only team out of these
I just
four
don't
that,
care.
yeah, just kind of have the least interest in seeing in the championship, just
I
because
mean,
there's no
people
real
want to see them.
story around them.
People want to see them just because they'll have cool jerseys.
Yeah. Also, last thing on this, you act like 6 million isn't anything. LOL. Why are you talking about? Again,
Thank
it's
you.
not. It's something
No,
to
no.
us.
All right. See,
it's
now
something to us.
now
It's nothing to these coaches that are multimillionaires.
See
He's
what I deal with?
already
Do
getting
you
paid
see what I
millions of
deal with?
dollars.
I deal with this off air all the time when I try to have a conversation with this fucker. Thank
He
you.
already has a net worth of $14 million that he is then going to be paid his entire net worth for one season. He was already being paid $10 million. He's already a millionaire. He's already rich. The money,
Yeah,
again,
but guess what? Now you can set an extra. You can put $1 million. You can. How many grandchildren does he have? Does he have 6? Guess what? $1 million each way. Boom. There you go. There
yeah,
you
he
go.
could also dip his
Put that
balls
in
in
a
gold. What
fund
does
for
that
those
matter?
kids. What's
He
up?
can already do all these things. He can already dip things in gold.
No,
He
he
can
would have
already
to dip
give
into
people
his.
millions.
He would have to dip into his
Again, I
millions.
saw a video of him coming home from the store and he's carrying the basket and his wife's like, "Why do you have the basket?"
Okay.
And he's like, "I didn't want to pay the extra money for the bag." This guy's already cheap. He's already, again, nobody likes Lane Kiffin. I'm tired of pretending like people like Lane Kiffin. Nobody has ever liked Lane Kiffin. I'm
You
sure there's members of his
see.
family that don't like him. Lane Kiffin always has come off like an arrogant dickhead. You don't agree?
We're just gonna no. We're gonna. I don't disagree.
Yeah. Remember when he was with the Raiders and he would wear the visor and his hair would be poofing out the top? Nobody has ever liked Lane Kiffin. So the fuck Lane Kiffin
Don't
chants
knock a
are
visor, okay? Don't knock a visor. Josh McDaniels wears visors. I used to wear a visor.
Oh yeah, everybody loves Josh McDaniels. Everybody.
I talk about how I dislike him all the time.
Yeah. You
But no,
of
I
all
used to wear
people know.
I used to wear visors. You want to know what I used to do? And this is because my older brother did it, and I want to be cool like him. Is wear your visors upside down, sideways, right? But then you go to the water park, and then you take it, and then you fling the water up and around, and you just annoy people. It was fun. I miss Wet and Wild.
Well, now that we're
All right,
just
now I'm
shitting on
sad.
now that we're just shitting on Lane Kiffin, I do
Let's do
want to
it.
say what he did last night after the game and during the game was diabolical. So he posts from his if I can just move this. What he did was post on X. He said, "Wow, what a great finish. So much fun. Only 2 more to go. Ole Miss," and then posted pictures of his family at the game. So then you look at this and you go, well, obviously everybody's going to shit on Lane Kiffin, but you can't because he's not in this picture and he put his wife and children in it. And then he goes, the best, right? Where they're saying he's talking about the game. And then it says, not just one of the best, it was the best we have ever seen. And that was from Tim Tebow saying, I feel like it was one of the best quarterback performances that we have seen since the college football playoff has been in existence. So now it's just like Lane Kiffin is just on this online media tour where now he just constantly has to be like, man, I'll tell you what, this Ole Miss team is good. These players at Ole Miss are good. And it's like, oh, really? You think they're good? They're one loss this entire season? If they're so good, why did you leave them for a team not even in the playoffs?
$6 million.
Because they paid you more money? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's awful. It's awful.
I know money hasn't always been, super important to you. No,
it's super important to everybody. It runs the world. But again, it's like, stop looking at it from the perspective of millions of dollars to us. Millions of dollars to millionaires is different.
It's like $100 to $200. What you said, $100 to $200. Guess what? I'd rather have $200 than $100.
Yeah, but again, you have to think of the ramifications of that. Again, you're going to get that raise of $100. You're going from one business that was voted one of the top 10 businesses in the world to a business that is, down in the dumps and shitty for a less good working environment. So again, you go, yeah, I'll take more money, but then you also can't just be at that other company just being like, I'll tell you what, one of the best companies in the world right now is that company I just left. It's just, again, it's dumb. I know people disagree with me on this.
I'm going to disagree with you. Money. $6 million.
I know, money, but it runs the world. And as we know, all the best people in the world have all the money. That's just always how the world has been. The best people in the world are just the filthy.
We're not trying to debate ethics on that board. We're debating.
We are. This is an ethics discussion.
No. I mean, yes, you're right, but no.
You know what? We'll finish on this. Whip Hero 2755 has been with us all show. And his last comment says, kind of want Indiana to win, though, because fuck the SEC. We can all get behind that.
I like
Fuck
that.
the SEC. Because again, Ole Miss will hype up, but they are in the SEC. LSU is in the SEC. F all of them. F Lane Kiffin. That's really what I want to just say on the show. This has been the Only Sports Podcast. We've ended angry. I actually came to the show. I was like, I'm not going to rant about anything.
You not ranting about something. Oh my god.
I was on like a 2-month not ranting streak that just ended.
I don't know. Maybe on here. I was gonna say, let me go through like all of our.
I don't feel like I've been in a ranting mood the past couple months.
You know what?
I don't think I really have.
Right. I'm kind of scrolling through your group chat with our buddies, and I don't think I have seen one.
No.
You know what? I might post that in the group chat.
You know what? New year, new me. New year, new me.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna propose a poll or a question in our group chat, and I'm going to have you rant in it. It's gonna be good.
Look forward to that. I'm Will.
No, I don't read it half the time. I just I'm literally just going.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's still going.
Scrolling our own group chat.
My wife looks over and she sees the big thing. She goes, "What'd you do?" And I was like, "No, it's just BJ." And she goes, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, everybody's used to it by now. You should try being my wife.
Oh no. I'm
Will. That's Casino over there. This has been the Only Sports Podcast. We will see you on Monday to talk about all the Week 18 games, the playoff seeds, all that kind of stuff. So we're here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 1 p.m. Only Sports Podcast. Join us live to talk about it. This has been the Only Sports Podcast. Adios.